Hello, fellow peasants. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 sci-fi films of all time. Now, this list isn't just about aliens or natural disaster. Like, it's not just space stuff. It's it kind of has a lot of stuff involved. A lot of different genres, a lot of sci-fi mystery, sci-fi horror, sci-fi action. So, just want to give you a heads up on that. Not everything here is space oriented. All right. So number 10 is 2001: A Space Odyssey. I believe this came out in 1968 or 69. I think it's 1968. And this is shot by Stanley Kubrick. It's a very interesting movie. It's a slow-paced movie. Not a whole lot of action in this film. Basically, the movie starts out back in like caveman times, and it shows the progression of man towards, us reaching outer space. And the movie it's interesting. I like watching it. I like looking at it. It's like an experience more than it is a story or a movie, in my opinion. It's not something I can watch every year. I might pop it in every like 4 or 5 years and watch this. It's worth checking out, just to see what the fuss is about. It's nowhere near one of my favorite films of all time, but in terms of sci-fi, I rank it pretty high. So check that out. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Number 9 is the movie Species. This is a movie that came out in the mid to late 90s. And basically, this hot chick, this alien, comes to Earth. She takes the form of a really hot blonde, and she's just going around trying to screw a bunch of guys and bring aliens to the Earth. So it's like an hot alien chick trying to procreate with a bunch of dudes on Earth. And it's a really good movie. A lot of action in it. It's super creepy. Like, she's really creepy in the movie. And if you like just that time period of film, the X-Files was around at this point. And so if you like the X-Files type of vibe, I think Species aligns with that pretty well. So check that out if you haven't seen it. Number 8 is 28 Days Later. A lot of people would say this is not a sci-fi movie. I think it's a sci-fi movie because of the lab aspect. They're creating this flesh-eating whatever disease in this lab, with these, and they're testing it on these primates. And this humanitarian group or whatever, this animal activist group, breaks into the lab, lets all the animals loose, not knowing exactly what they're being tested on, or what's being tested on them, and unleashes this worldwide pandemic of a flesh-eating zombie virus, and so it turns people into zombies. And it's really good. It's got the dude, I can never remember his name. He's the bad guy in Inception. He's Scarecrow in Batman Begins. He's the bad guy on Red Eye. Anyway, he's a really great actor, and he does a good job in this. It's really gritty. It's a really gritty, violent movie. I think it's the best zombie movie ever, hands down. All right, number 7 is Back to the Future. This is a classic. Everyone pretty much has seen Back to the Future. If you haven't seen Back to the Future, go check it out. Basically, there's this kid named Marty McFly. He hangs out with this professor who has all kinds of inventions and stuff. And he starts messing around with him, and they have this time machine. Well, Marty accidentally goes back to 1955, 30 years in the past, and he's in his hometown in the past, and he ends up screwing up the moment at which his dad meets his mom. And so his mom ends up wanting to date him. And so he has to figure out how to get those two together because his dad was a nerd. He got picked on a lot and would never really have been a choice for his mom, per se. So he's got to talk his dad into getting the guts to ask her to go to the date or go to the dance. And so he has to fix that because if his mom and dad don't get together in the past, then he doesn't exist in the future. So yeah, it's really good. Steven Spielberg movie. I'm sure everyone watching this has seen it. If not, do yourself a favor and do it. Number 6, Independence Day. This came out in like 95, 96, I believe. Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum. Basically, aliens come to Earth and fuck a bunch of shit up. It takes place globally. It shows New York blowing up. It shows all over the world, different cities being ransacked. I don't have a lot of details about this movie. It's just aliens come, attack, blow a bunch of shit up, and they got to figure out a way to find the weakness of the alien spaceships and take them down. And so that's what Independence Day is. Next, number 5 is Alien. Alien, yes, the original Alien. I think Alien came out in 1979. It's got Sigourney Weaver in it. Basically, it's this crew. They are in outer space, and they're on this spaceship, and I think they're wanting to go home. They're on their way back, or they're going home, and they stop off at this one place. Anyway, this alien ends up getting on board. They bring this life form back because it attached to this guy's face. So at one point they get off the spaceship. They go into some they go onto some planet and find some sort of alien civilization. One of the guys starts messing with one of the eggs or the pods. One of the alien babies or whatever grabs onto his face. They get him back up to the spaceship, and the alien basically used his body to give birth to one of their aliens. And so you have this situation where this crew's on this spaceship. They're isolated. They're stuck. There's nowhere to go. You're on the ship, and there is a giant ass alien growing and running around the spaceship killing people. It's pretty creepy. Number 4, The Thing. The Thing is really good. This is the original from 1982 with Kurt Russell, directed by John Carpenter. I really like this movie. I never saw this movie until 2018, I think. I really liked it. The cinematography is great. I love John Carpenter's cinematography. I try to mimic it a little bit in the films I do. Basically, it's this group of American scientists. They're down in Antarctica. And once again, another isolation type film. They're trapped in this research center down there in Antarctica. And an alien ends up infiltrating their facility, and it can shapeshift. They don't know who is the alien, who's not the alien, or who's the thing, who's not the thing, should I say. And I won't quite tell you how the alien or the thing gets into their facility, because it's kind of a neat little way that they do it, and I don't want to spoil that for you. But yeah, guys, really good movie. Good 80s action. It bombed, I guess. It was a major failure when it came out, but now it's regarded as one of the best horror films of all time. So, yeah. Number 3, Dante's Peak. This was a movie with Pierce Brosnan and Linda Hamilton. Pierce Brosnan is a scientist. He's like a volcanist or whatever, geologist, whatever. He studies volcanic activity, seismic activity, and things like that. And he comes to this town, and they're testing the volcano activity, and they think something's going on, but they're not sure. Then these two teens end up dying because the sulfur springs exploded. Some of the activity made the springs warm up. And so basically you have a situation where Pierce Brosnan's like, hey, look, we gotta stay here, we gotta test more, we gotta evacuate this town. I think it's gonna blow. And the town's people are like, I don't know about this, I think you're full of shit. And then his boss at his company's like, you're full of shit, we're not leaving, we're not doing anything, you're jumping ahead of, you're rushing into this. It ends up blowing up, the volcano erupts, and they got to figure out how to survive. And it's a really good movie. Number 2 on my sci-fi film list, Terminator 2: Judgment Day, another film with Linda Hamilton, mostly starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. So this is the sequel to the first Terminator. I'm not a really big fan of Terminator 1. I love Terminator 2. It's just action-packed. The bad guy in it, he can shape-shift. He turns into all kinds of stuff. He can look like different people. His arms can turn into like metal blades and weapons. I mean, it's just a badass. He's one of the most badass villains of all time. And it touches on a lot of topics. It touches on corporate greed and how that can lead to dystopian societies, nuclear warfare. It's a hell of a freaking sequel. It's one of the best sequels of all time. Terminator 2, baby. Terminator 2. And my number 1 sci-fi film of all time, this is a sci-fi action / horror, is the original Jurassic Park from 1993. I love Jurassic Park. This movie is awesome. It is one of the best movies of all time, hands down. It is Steven Spielberg's best work, in my opinion. If you've never seen Jurassic Park, do yourself a favor, go check it out. Basically, this guy, he's a scientist. Him and these other scientists get this lab, have an island, and they clone dinosaurs with frog DNA. They mix frog DNA in with dino DNA that is found in mosquitoes that are preserved in amber. So that's how they get the DNA from the. That's how they get the dino DNA, is through the mosquito. Because mosquitoes would have sucked on a dinosaur, been preserved in amber over X million years, and now they can get that out. And so for him to open the park, he needs to bring, like, it's pretty much ready to go, and he has lawyers come. He has some other scientists come, some paleontologists. One of the main paleontologists in the film is played by Sam Neill. His character is Dr. Grant. And so they're there to take the rides, look around, give their assessment of the park. Well, a storm comes and hits the island, knocks the power out, and the dinosaurs get loose and start eating motherfuckers. And so it's just action-packed from there. Jeff Goldblum's in this. Just good stuff, man. It's good stuff. One of the best movies of all time. If you have not seen Jurassic Park, do it. It is badass. It is great. I just recently bought the 4K for this. It's a standalone purchase. It was separate from the 5-movie collection or 6-movie collection, whatever the hell it is. I only like the first Jurassic Park, so I only bought the first Jurassic Park. And the 4K transfer on it is, it's okay. It's good. It's good. It doesn't knock it out of the park, but it's good. And other than that, guys, that's it. That's my top 10 sci-fi films of all time. Other than that, have a good day, peasants. Bye-bye.